and they argue with you like, that's against our policy or something. It's like, well, it was your fault to begin with, you know? And you run up against this, sometimes you run up against this brick wall where it's like, you know what? The only thing between me and getting what I want is you. All I have to do is get you to see it the way I want you to see it. And some people won't see it your way. Sometimes those people work for the government. Sometimes those people are between you and getting the business license that you need. Or sometimes those people are between you and getting the position that you want at work. You know? Is it really worth it? You know? Is it really worth it? Are you detained? Matsila says, you should have asked, are you detaining me? Am I free to go now, officer? Yeah, police are that way. You know, it's like, come on. There's a dude speeding up here. What are you pulling me over for? Okay, whatever. Do. Follow the rules. You know. And they always ask you the questions, trying to get you to admit guilt, you know. You aren't hiding anything, are you? You don't mind if I search your car, do you? Yes, no, no, yes, yes, no. Oh, well, is it yes or no? Well, you asked 2 questions. Dude, am I free to go? Anyway, so people work like slaves sometimes. Literally, a lot of people work like slaves. Matsula says, the cashier told me that Taco Bell was now closed because they were out of mild sauce. That's a funny one. Rome says, and I've gone to Papa John's Pizza and been told they were out of pizza dough. So you want some pizza dough with that cheese and sauce? Anyways, where was I? Okay. Okay, anyways. Back to the story. Okay. So the thing is, people work really hard for, like, nothing sometimes. And sometimes people put up with a lot of stuff like EMTs and police officers and firemen. And, you know, their jobs are hard. And we can't understand what it's like to be a police officer if we're not a police officer. You know? They put their lives on the line. They got a job to do. And they're doing it. And all we can do is complain the way they treat us. Sometimes they don't sometimes they don't treat us like they're protecting us. Sometimes they treat us like they're, you know, big brother, and they're going to decide what's right and wrong right there. But that's another show. Anyways, some people work so hard at their jobs for, like, very little money, and they don't even care about their job. They're doing it just to survive. To get, you know, what's minimum wage? I don't even know. I haven't worked a minimum wage. I quit working minimum wage jobs. You don't want to work at a minimum wage job, don't work at a minimum wage job. If you need money, work at a minimum wage job. If there ain't any other jobs, you know, I don't know what to tell you. You don't have a skill, if there's no work for your skill, you know. I've come down to it. I'd like to see McCain work there, or President Bush work there or something. You know, have them picking the fields. Instead of Romney scraping the snow off of his, like, $50,000 porch. And he works so hard. I'm so proud of him. You know. Anyway, people at this radio station sometimes I'm real fortunate. I don't get a lot of crap from people. Maybe that's why I like going on air late at night, because I don't get a lot of crap from people. People like me when I come in the chat room and they go, "Hey, so people disagree with me, but it's okay. I don't care." And we can hash it out on air too, and I'll get fired up if you get me fired up like we did earlier. That's fun. And I'll let you have a lot of time on air to speak your piece. And sometimes we'll talk over each other, but that's all right. That's the downside of, not being in the chat room. When you're in the chat room, you don't talk over anybody. You can type in what you want to say and then hit enter. You can decide if that's what you want to put in there before you hit enter. You say, "Oh, maybe I don't want to say that." You can backspace a bit. But some people who work really hard for absolutely nothing just because they care and because they're fulfilling something that they feel they need to do, get a whole lot of abuse. Worse than I've seen in all the 4.5 years working at McDonald's, the 4.5 years working for Vaughn's, the 5 years working at the Baccara, the elite resort, the creme de la creme of the elite. Talk about entitlement issues and abusing people. Granted, there was wonderful people that I met, and there are very wonderful customers, and those are the ones that are really nice, and any waitress will tell you that. They make your job a lot easier. But I see people putting up with so many attacks. I don't blame anyone who has just said, "That's it. It's not worth it. I'm not getting paid anything to do this. Why do I have to put up with this day in and day out?" Can you understand that? Can you understand how some of them get real frustrated with some of the rest of them? Can you understand both sides? Because you can knock somebody down. You can knock them out of the limelight. Knock them off their pedestal if that's what you want. Go for it. That is the beauty of living in a free country. If you want to go, if that's what you want to do, if you want to make that the ambition and the goal and the drive of your life, to go and dig up some part of somebody's past, to knock them out of their stool, their pedestal, their speaking position, just because you don't like what they're saying. You don't understand them, and you don't want to listen to it. You don't want to understand what they're doing, and you can't believe that what they're doing out of their heart, because they just feel the need to do it. You just can't believe it. And whoever does that sort of thing makes that the ambition of their goal, their project, to make the world a better place. Go for it. Have a great time bashing somebody else to make yourself feel righteous that you're right. They're wrong. They are a worse person than you. That makes you better. That means you're better than somebody else. Don't you feel good?